podcast look like dirt.
I ain't. you,
Man, I got to step it up.
hey, y'all welcome to the Other Side Podcast. I'm your host, Marquez Evans. Of course, I got my cuzzo on here. He's gonna introduce himself. Now, y'all don't know him like you're gonna know him. This is somebody who's very important to me. I like to give him my flowers early in the conversation because I've watched this young man um, go through his different processes and journey in life and watch him go through different stages and grow. And so it was really important for me to have him on and to share some of his wisdom that he has garnered along the way and to share some of the growth he's had in his life. Um, uh, it's really a privilege to have him on here. I've seen him do some incredible things and doing incredible things. And we've had some conversation that I think that if people heard, that they would be like, man, that's something I can use. That's something I can glean from. Real talk. And we've had some real life. And if you understand, once we start this conversation, you understand how this man thinks. And he doesn't have conversations with a lot of people because of the fact that they're not articulate enough to be able to give a premise on their on something that they believe. Because he's gonna break you down. He's gonna ask you a million questions about what you believe, and if you can't give him a good answer, he's gonna be like, "Man, I'll talk to you another day." If he ever talks to you, this is my real spiel. This is my brother. I like calling him cousin. There's not a lot of people that I like calling cousins or calling brothers for real. Because I do have three real brothers that I am born and raised, grew up with. But I have people who have in my life who are family who have moved into the space of brother because of our connection and how we rock. And he one of them. So Garrett Winfree, the host of All Is Well podcast, the one of the co-founders of Bike for Hunger. He got some stuff he didn't put out there. This brother's doing some things in life. He's gonna share with you some of those things. Welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you, man. It
Thank you for
is
coming
it
on.
is beyond an honor and pleasure actually to be invited to do this. Honestly, so I appreciate all of the generous words. It is appreciated, and yes, some conversations do get cut short, but that's when I notice that people's perspectives aren't wide enough, or you know, they 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 lack an imagination. So
Uh,
that's it. But thank you, man. Appreciate
right.
it.
Yeah, for sure, you deserve it, man. Like, there's a couple people you come across in life and you meet in life, and you like, man, that was good to meet them, and you just keep on moving on with your life. But then there are people you meet in your life and you like, and you're like, oh, not only is it great to meet them, but they leave an impression on you in a way where you say, being connected to this person this way, in which the context I'm speaking of is family for me and you, but being connected to this person this way is a privilege. Like knowing that you are my family and we come from the same tree and all this stuff and got the same blood running through us and at the same time see us come from where we come from in the city we're from and to be able to maneuver and to have success and to have our lives get better like
The
our
city,
lives we can look at
our lineage, the fact
right.
that we actually have the ambition and that
hmm
imagination, the
hmm
creativity to say, you know what, I want to try this. You know,
right.
regardless, like, okay, y'all, how it may look to somebody else, it's still like,
hmm
yo, this is a huge step because this is something our predecessors probably never tried.
That, true,
So
true,
kudos
true,
to
true,
us,
true.
man.
And then we share, even on how to navigate becoming fathers and all that stuff. We talk about, like me and you talk about some serious issues. So let's talk about that. Where did you grow up, bro? Where we grew up, where we from? What's the city
Hey
we
man,
from, bro?
listen,
Talk to us.
Cleveland,
Talk to us.
Ohio, man, 1542 East 70th Street. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. 811570 out off of 79th Simon Avenue, baby. I want y'all to understand. Y'all don't understand, man. Like this is like we grew up not too far from each other. And we didn't even know we were
which is
cousins. That's what's so crazy.
crazy.
Just crazy. Like my mom, his mom are friends. Like they grew up
Which
together.
is
They know each other. It's
crazy.
wild. But anyway, but so you grew up on 71st,
70th.
right? Now talk to me about how that was and how was that growing up?
Growing up on 70th, man, was a mixture of friends and households. Like, you know, you may be the only kid on the street with a two-parent household. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
may be the
Mm-hmm.
only kid on the street whose family is not on drugs, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it
Mm-hmm.
was
Mm-hmm.
different. It was just a mixture of us, man, and I enjoyed it, man. You know, honestly, when
Yeah.
you look back on it, you be like, dang, man, that was some of the most fun to have, even though it wasn't like the best of times.
Yeah.
It's
So would you say that growing up in a neighborhood, even though it was
mhm.
tough, that because it was what we only thing we knew, it didn't seem bad to
At
us.
all. Once
Right.
again, like once you if your friend, like you notice at a certain age, you notice
Mm-hmm.
like, wait a minute, my friend ain't got, you know, they don't have like water running for a while,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, they got the jokes where it's like, oh man, you eating King Vitamin instead of like Captain Crunch, but you not saying you just
Mm-hmm.
think it's cereal, right? But like, you
Because
know,
it
they,
is,
I mean,
but
yeah, but you like, it's that classism, like, oh man, y'all
right,
can't
right,
even
right.
get Captain
Mm-hmm.
Crunch, like,
Like that name
right?
brand, you can't
But
even
you
get that
like, you
name brand.
don't know, like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
really might be going through something. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
At a
right,
younger age,
right.
you don't know why such and such dad is always down here talking to the younger dudes. But as you get older, you start
Mm-hmm.
understanding like, oh, okay, like
He
you
was getting
understand.
that.
So it's just, you know, when you're young, you ain't paying no attention. But as you get older and you start understanding, you start learning how to handle your friends a different way. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna Jones on you too bad because I know you might have a little issue going on.
Right. Right. You got some real stuff happening at your house.
Yeah.
Like we had a neighbor like that, and they had like they house smelled a certain way, and and we used to try to make them because my mom didn't play that. We was clean.
Mm-hmm.
She was making sure we was eating and stuff. But my neighbor that's when the crack era hit in. You know what I'm saying? I watched the neighborhood go down, and people start, the parents not taking care of them because they somewhere, trying to get a rock. You know what I'm saying? And so, but our parents, like me and your parents, you know, did you grow up with your father, or was your father and mother ever married?
No, I never married, in and out for the first, like, you know what I'm saying, a few years, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
he
Hmm.
played it well enough to double back and have my brother, you know what I'm saying? Like,
He got
yeah,
two,
you know.
2 for 1. He got two in the game.
So, but nah, he was in and out, you know what I'm saying? Then moved out of town, and then from there it was just like phone calls, you know, sporadic phone calls. So, yeah, you know.
So let me ask you a question. How that affected you? I know recently you went to your father's vow renewal, correct?
Yeah. I've 20
He
something
I think he's been
years.
married
Yeah.
to 20 something
20
years to,
something,
to
yeah.
go. So his father is, so pops have had growth in his life. Can't wait to get him on here. Got a pretty
Oh,
interesting
buddy,
story. I would love to
you
share his
better
story,
have
but
your instruments charged, cause
he got 45 minutes. That's all he got,
yeah,
and I'm gonna push
he
stop.
ain't
That's what I'm
gonna.
push on. He'll be like, "What happened? What happened? I don't know what happened, bro."
Oh
And just
no.
don't. And I'll text you next year. But how did that affect you? Like, how did that affect your trajectory growing up? Not having, because I know where we grew up, and I seen people succumb to the influences around them because they had nobody to give them some direction. Mom can do but so much. Talk to me. How did you navigate that?
um, for me, it was more of like, well, I'm gonna show him how. I'm gonna show how to do it. right? Like
Mhm.
I'm gonna do things different. So when it
Mhm.
came to the time where it's like, um, it you going through if you're going through an issue with your spouse at the time, like me and my first child's mom, like my son's mom, like it was, man, ebbs and flows, hills and valleys. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm. Mhm.
it
Mhm.
it would get rough. You know what I'm saying? Then sometimes like okay, it's cool, but then tumultuous. Shit hit the
Mhm.
fan. It got crazy. So it was just like I'm literally fighting like tooth and nail. Even though I knew like I wasn't gonna marry this woman, I'm just trying to be
Right.
a good guy, right? So
Right.
I'm
Right.
trying everything I can to not just throw my cards in. Like I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
But before you got to this point with meeting the young lady you
Hmm.
had your son with, uh, how did not having dad in the house growing up, how did that affect your growth and how you perceive relationships, how you perceived manhood? Because did you have an example growing up?
I have a couple uncles that passed on. They were married, right? But
Okay.
marriage wasn't. It was none that I aimed for, right? It was.
Hmm. Hmm.
It was always like, hey, get you a decent woman, right? Have you a
Hmm.
decent woman in your life? It was like, all right, cool. But my mindset, we talking about 12, 13. Like I'm outside. I'm outside.
Right.
And which is funny, like I just told my wife, like, man, it's crazy that I try to talk to like my son, my younger cousins, my nephews, and I'm just like, yo, I'm trying to give them game. Like, dude, listen,
Hmm.
be patient. Where you at now, whatever you think you like right now, you're not gonna like later. Your taste is gonna evolve, right? In all things, in all
Right.
aspects.
Right.
So
Right. And it definitely
it
should. If
definitely
it don't,
should.
it definitely should
So
have.
it's like,
Definitely
don't
should have.
rush because the things that you think you want, you're gonna look back on later like, damn man, I was blowing money on stupid stuff and like stupid stuff. And
Hmm.
it's like, damn man, like I really
Hmm.
could have utilized that a little better. But like I was telling my wife, like, I'm like, dang man, like I'm trying to tell them something, but they won't listen. And I think that it's the messenger, how the message is delivered, right? So when I'm talking, I
Okay.
try to be not, hey, do as I say. It's like, yo, listen, watch this, do this. When I was young, it had to come from somebody who, like, if a man talking to me, I ain't
Hmm.
really going for the drill sergeant because it ain't happening.
Right.
That's the
Right.
fastest way
Right.
to get me up out of there. Like, it ain't happening. But if it's more
Right.
of, all right, come on, come on, young man, let me tell you something. Let me show you. I'm all ears, and I
Right.
think that was
So it's all
that was a
about
difference.
it's about it was about approach for you.
Always
So do you think if you had a pop in the house and he was showing that discipline, that would that you
because
wouldn't have reacted to discipline
at
that
that
way?
point you're able to take instruction in a certain way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm more prone to like my father coming here and like, hey, didn't I tell you take this out? Okay, it's coming from a man. Like even now, at
Mm.
my age, an older black woman, I'm. What do you need, ma'am? Take this seat, ma'am,
Right.
because that's my
Right.
mother, that's my granny, that's my aunt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, nah.
Right.
If a man gonna talk to me, even at my young age, I don't care. You be 50 years old, I can be 17. You gonna talk to me with respect. That's just the way I carry it.
Mm.
Which
Mm.
might have been right or wrong at the time, because some of them old cats be needing to know, like, bro, you ain't gonna play with me just because you old.
No, no, because some of them are just old children. That's
Yeah,
what they are.
and see that
You know what
that's
I'm saying?
another
They just
part of it.
because if you are engaging me, and I tell older dudes who be flipping out on women in public, I'm like, hey, OG, like, chill out. You know how bust that be? And I'm like, bro, you 50. You a 50-year-old man. She 20. What are you screaming at her for? Like, why would you let a woman that you're supposed to have a more? She's 20.
Mm-mm,
Oh, gee, what you doing? Like, I'm not arguing with no females. I'm not about to be because they don't understand what they're up against. It makes no sense to do so like that.
not
And
even
then
that.
even with the
Arguing
young
in
dudes,
public is that's
it's
trash
yeah,
behavior, man. Like,
it is trash behavior. That is something that I never ever did. I'm not about to be screaming at
Nah.
you in public. What I look like?
Plus, I feel like I
First of all,
lost. You made me. I
that's how I
let you
feel.
see that you
That's how I
made me
feel.
mad. I don't like that.
That's how I feel. That's how I
I'm
feel.
gonna
Like
okay you to death. Okay.
you think
All right.
you about to get this reaction from
You got
me?
it. You
You?
got it.
But how many like think about this, bro? How many times have you seen elder gentlemen and elderly women, more senior, I like to call them seasoned
Mhm.
people, who supposed to be mature in their emotions, act in ways that is just like, dude, did you ever grow up from 10?
So that's something you wouldn't see depending on your environment. When as you get older and you start having different
Mm-hmm,
experiences, then you start
mm-hmm,
seeing like, oh wait a minute, it's cool. You know what I'm saying, to be just a little bit in your emotions in this area, right? It's cool to
mm-hmm,
be like,
mm-hmm,
you don't have to be rough and rugged all the time, right? So, but
mm-hmm,
listen, 20 years old and my OGs is 40 and they snapping
mm-hmm.
out in public. I'm thinking, like, oh, shit is live. It's up.
This how you supposed to be. Yeah,
It's
this
how
how
it's
you supposed to
supposed to
act.
be. This is how you're
Yeah,
supposed to carry on. Loud,
right,
boisterous. You need to know I'm here versus just being
mm-hmm,
quiet and just like, okay, it's
right.
okay to be soft.
So what got you into this place? Because you're like one of them calculated ninjas that you're one of the people that if you don't pay attention, you're dead type of people. And I know you're not an assassin or nothing like that, but you give that vibe off where you'll look up and they don't know when you walking or you already walking away. You didn't did your stuff, you walking away. They dead. They don't know they dying. But and I'm not saying this literally, y'all. He hasn't, not that I know of, has been out
Nope,
here shooting
nobody's on
somebody
my
and
end.
walked away. No, you know what I'm saying. So that I'm not saying that. I just he's very stoic in his approach. Like if you met my cousin, and he's very stoic in his approach. I know he has a fire in him, but he's very stoic in his approach. So how did you get to this that point in your life? Because the environment we grew up in is um, very reactionary.
Reactionary of the story of my life. Reactions. Being careful of how to react in certain situations. How should I
Mm-hmm,
react? Do I react? Because in some instances, it's like if you if you if you do that, which is something else I try to teach my son, right? And
mm-hmm,
when you say calculated, it's because I have to be. I feel like in life you got to
mm-hmm,
be. You can't just make a decision without thinking about what the outcome gonna be, right? So if I say I'm going to drive down Superior with my eyes closed, I'm pretty sure I know what the outcome gonna be. Can I am I okay with that? Can I live with that? Or like what's am I okay with this outcome? What it's most likely going to be, right? If
right,
if
right.
if you can't think through it and say, okay, this outcome, I'm straight. But then think about the other scenarios. If it goes this way, that's just how my mind works. I
Mm-hmm.
try to think everything out.
So in figuring that out, where do you feel being over analytical? And this is known
Mm-hmm.
for Virgos, where they
Mm-hmm.
analyze things to the point where what is paralysis by analysis.
Analysis paralysis.
Have you ever analysis
Mm-hmm.
paralysis where have you had those moments where you like because you think things through so much, you're like, I haven't moved on
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Absolutely. On but
Yeah,
more or less on the bigger things. Smaller things like deciding, oh, am I gonna start writing this book? Smaller things than
yeah, yeah.
thinking about, hey, am I gonna start this podcast? And then to start thinking about who's will people actually be interested, right?
Mm-hmm,
Who would want to listen to that? Who would want to come talk to me about just stuff? But bigger
mm-hmm,
things are the things I tend to take more time with, especially when it comes
mm-hmm.
to spending big amounts of money. And for me, anything over shit $200, like wait, where are we going? Where this going? But honestly,
Uh-huh.
so just being clear about what's going on, what is the objective? Like what is the
Right,
outcome that I want? But
right,
what
right,
could
right,
happen?
right.
So, oh man, every situation.
But can outcomes, and this is the thing about what we do with our podcast, because this is what I know to be true. Outcomes vary,
Hmm.
right? Me and you are driven. We're ambitious. We're analytical. We're intellectual. We some things that we have in common. We push ourselves. Like me and you have lost a significant amount of weight.
Some more than
You
others,
know,
and I'm gonna get back on it. But yeah, you've been getting busy.
I'm Big
Batman,
Cleve. I was Big Cleve. Now they call me Slim
Batman.
Thugger. You know what I'm saying? No, and ain't nothing against you, Slim Thug, but I earned my Slim
Yeah, you
Cleve
did.
moniker
Yeah.
now. You know what I'm saying? Ripped in my 40s, but all praise to the Most High. 2 weeks, I'm on the other side, going closer to that, find that Cinco,
All
boy.
right. Beautiful thing.
But bro, I was telling somebody, I never thought I would be approaching it this way. I'm talking about healthy, looking good, feeling
Ain't it crazy?
good, yada yada. It's a blessing. It's a blessing, but it also comes from the desire to because outcomes are one thing. Like my body, I love the way it looks. I'm glad I lost weight. I'm glad I eat
Hmm.
well. It's always I'm glad I have pretty good mobility for a person of my height and my
Hmm.
age. It's always expanding in your understanding of how to continue to move this body as we age, right? But it's something like running. You run. You adopted running. Like, let's talk about that. Like, what made you decide that you was going to go into that modality and start running?
Bruh,
And how much did you lose? Like, how at your highest, how much did you weigh, bro?
bruh, I had to be maybe 260.
And how tall are you?
Hey man, the haters gonna say I'm like 5'6", but I think I'm 5'8". On a bright and sunny day. So
Cause you ain't no
hey man, you
five
hate.
eight, man. Get out of here, bro. Hey, hey, he is. Hey, when y'all see us together, every bit of my cousin, but I'm
Hey
tall. He
man,
is.
it.
But anyway,
Hey, I don't know, man. I don't know. Luckily,
our grand our grandmothers are sisters. But
that's
so listen, bro. But what made you get into running? What made you start to say I'm gonna do the worst thing ever for
a
myself?
worst thing
What?
ever.
I hate running, bro. I hated it in college. I hated it when I was in high school playing basketball. I hated when I got up to 330 pounds and I'm 6'6".
Jeez. Yeah, you
I
was
was
Big Cleve. Yeah,
big.
you was.
I was huge. But when we started running, man, bro, I hate now with CrossFit. I like it. I like it better. You know, it's got me to the point. I like to run, no big deal. But
Mm.
bro, I hate running. What got you to running marathons?
So for me, when I first like locked in, so you know what? Over the years, I mean, I was always a husky kid, right? So always one of the chubbier ones. I'm just like, I'm gonna actually get this a real go. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
lock in and I'm gonna see what I can do. Like I'm really
Mm-hmm.
see. I'm gonna give it the best effort. And at this time, like I wasn't even eating. Like I wasn't vegan or vegetarian at the time. I'd have
Right.
fruits. You know what I'm saying? I'd get my vegetables in, have my salads, but I still was low key eating trash. But it was a
Mm-hmm.
guy that I used to work with, and he had dropped crazy weight. I'm like, yo, what do you do? He like, oh man, I go running after work. I'm like, man, you go to work all day. We on our feet all day because I was working in the cafeteria at the time, and this was like
Mm-hmm.
2008. He's like, get it.
Mm-hmm.
He like, I just go running. Like, man, listen, I started. I wasn't no warm up. I would literally get like something quick to eat. I go to La Salsa and get I go to La
La
Salsa
sauce.
and get like a chicken rice bowl, eat
Uh,
like a quarter of it right after work, go straight to the Walker building and go run, get on the treadmill.
So you would run with food in your
Yes.
stomach? I can't work out with food in
Like
my
I
stomach,
said,
bro.
this is when I first started. It took
Oh
time for
no,
me to like really
to figure it out.
put together my own like what felt good to me and get a
Right.
regimen, keep my schedule. So it became like from that, it was like, you know what? Oh, but to further that, it was I didn't have a way to keep track of how many miles I was doing that. Like I would just
Okay.
leave work, come home, change clothes, back outside, or go get on the treadmill, and then I just like, all right, I'm gonna run for 45 minutes. Not knowing like I'm doing 4 miles. You know what I'm saying? Like daily,
Excuse
every
me.
day. I'm doing four
Wow.
miles every day, which was crazy to think back on it. Like, this is nuts. 4 miles. Do that Monday through Friday. Weekends I chill, unless I just felt like getting outside. But then as the more I got into it, and then the more, I mean,
Hmm.
when people start seeing you and they like, yo, you look a little different. Like, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is working for me. Man, and
Right.
all of a sudden, here I am getting up 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm hitting the street 5 o'clock. I'm outside because the treadmill versus the concrete, that's two different animals.
Yeah,
You
it
know what I'm
is.
saying? You run outside, that's a whole different beast. So
You talking about holes, you talking about levels, you talking about slick, you talking about rain, you talking about mud, you talking about animals,
you
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 talking
talking
about
about
it's
people.
human, and then the worst ones,
Man, listen,
the worst animals.
I I would get up
You know,
and be out on the street, hit the street like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and either get my daughter off to school, come back home and run, or I had a schedule where I was able to get a run in before that. So like at the time, we were staying off of what's that, Lakeview. I would go
hmm
from there all the way over to Bracknell, like I'm by the
mm,
lake, and then come back. Like I'm putting up
hmm
7, 8 miles, like just
that's a run right
because.
there. That's a
So
run.
then the marathon came around, was like I had done the 5Ks, I did a half, and I was like, I can't. To me, I feel like I can't truly say I'm a runner unless I do a marathon.
It's the longest marathon you do.
That was that was that one. Yeah,
How many miles?
that was 26.2.
No, bro.
26.2 miles.
That made me cough. I don't even ever see. At the monotony of running that long. Just, I know the scenery, especially outside, you can see different
Mm-hmm.
things, but it would drive me crazy, bro.
It's
I can't do that. I don't want to
I
do that.
get that. And trust me, I completely understand that.
What's the mindset you gotta have, bro, to do that?
It's I got to finish this, right? I signed
Wow.
up to do this. I have to see this out.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Ain't no I'm stopping halfway, calling my wife like, yo, come pick me up. Like, ain't none of that. Ain't none of that. When they be like even now, they be like, oh, you want to come run for da. Like, all right, how many miles is it? Anything over 5 miles, yo, it better be some medals involved. I ain't running for nothing,
Right, right,
right?
right,
I ain't got to
right.
be the fastest, but
So
if I'm finishing, it's got some
there better be
reward
some
to
method.
it. So for this one was like
Yeah.
it was a twofer for me. Like I get the medal and I get the experience. Like, yo, I did
Hmm.
this. This is something that had to be accomplished
Hmm.
because this isn't just a physical feat. Because if you ever go see a marathon start or watch it, you're gonna see an array of people, different.
Right.
Like you'll see kids. Like I was out there getting smoked by nuns. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was nuns
They got nothing to
it was
do.
nuns that was coming back from the halfway point. And I wasn't even there yet.
They ain't got nothing to
Nuns
do. No,
that
no,
smoking.
nothing.
I mean, out there, and I'm just like, yo, and that's something that your ego, you gotta have that in check too.
See, that's how I ended up in CrossFit. An old lady was running. Blue took me to this CrossFit gym, Crooked River. I'll never forget it. Crooked River CrossFit. He took me to the gym, and we had to warm up. I had never heard of CrossFit, and we had to run a mile, just a
Mm-hmm.
mile. And I weighed like 295 at the
Oh
time.
yeah, that was about 11
I had
minutes.
just started. First of all, it wasn't about how long it was. I started running. I was in the beginning of this run, and halfway through the run, I was no longer at the top front of this line. And a 65-year-old woman ran past me and smacked me in my butt. Was like,
Ooh,
"Come on, big man."
come
Ooh,
on,
talking about
big
ego.
man.
Ooh, come on, big man. Blue took off with her because he was like, "I ain't gonna get lapped by."
Come
He
on,
take
big
he
man.
take off. He take off with her. I'm by myself. I'm at the back and I'm like, oh god, this the buy in to the workout.
Nah,
We even got to the workout. I ain't running.
that's why
Now I got bit by a bug that day because I said I will
never again.
never quit CrossFit because this 65-year-old lady ran past me, and if she is this what CrossFit do to you? Oh yeah. And so I got in there, and I have been on there ever since. I lost all the weight, and I bet you ain't gonna run past me. I would kick her in her back.
That's
First of all, I should have
but
300 kicked her for doing that, but whatever.
that's why they say like the slogan is like you got to run your race. How you train, stick to it. You get out there. It's no
Absolutely.
different. I'm pretty sure like than how you when you was hooping and y'all run y'all
Hmm.
plays and y'all might be you might have to play a team like you know this dude be going off like yo he 30 a
Hmm.
night, but you
Hmm.
stay with y'all package. This is what we came with. We know these plays. We run these plays. We ain't about to break form.
Hmm.
So when you starting on that line, and this is from my experience, I'm starting off from the line and I got uh 12, 13-year old. I'm out here 38 years old. I got a 13, 14-year old taking off. He's sprinting past me. I got to keep in mind, like, that's cool. I'll catch him later down the road. You know what I'm saying? I'll
Hmm.
catch up later. If
Hmm.
I catch up later, I'll catch up later. If not, do your thing. But you don't want to.
And see, this is why I wanted to have a conversation about, and I really wanted to have you on because you have a perspective. People who run races have a perspective about life. Like my race, we're running the same race,
Mhm.
the same name, but my race is still my
Still your
race. I
race.
can only run the race that I can run.
Which, listen,
As a 12-year-old.
for me, even with that, that's why I often have to take like social media breaks.
Mm,
It
hmm.
ain't because of nothing else other than first of all taking in too much information, and then I'll
Hmm.
start looking at myself like, well, damn, he got this and he got that, and they got
Hmm.
shit. Well, what should I be doing? But if I just, all right, hold up, that's for them, right? That's for
Hmm.
them. And then I step back and look at my shit like, wait a minute, I'm cooking over here.
I'm doing
All
all
right,
right. I'm doing
I'm
doing
cool.
all right. Yeah.
But
Yeah. How important is it to focus on your own race? Like it's okay to appreciate other people's race
exactly,
because that's what we're doing.
exactly.
That's what we're doing. We're bringing people on here. They're sharing their journey in this race called
Mhm.
life. But your race is still your race.
That's top priority. That's top priority because I'm
Yeah.
not taking my eyes off my plate, man. Like if I get to trying to keep up with you, like damn, cousin, he done did this and he's still dropping weight. He cutting up. Like man, I can't. I got this thing in my life where it's like if it feel like I'm forcing, if I
Mm.
feel like I'm forcing, nah, we cut that. We cut that. We not going out our way. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to force
That
us
makes
to
sense.
make this work because
Right.
that's when
Right.
it's not going to feel right. And if it don't feel right, it's not going to play right. So I'm like, nah, I'd rather go without.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
Nah, we'll figure out. We'll reroute. It's cool.
Hmm.
So nah, man, just staying focused on what I need to do at the time I need to do it. Man, you when
Hmm.
you do that, everything you was looking for, it lined up for you.
So how did you end up in the space? Well, how much weight did you end up losing?
Oh shit, man.
Like there was some most weight.
I
Come on.
honestly couldn't tell you. because that was one thing that I really tried not to do. It's like, man, I ain't want to become a scale junkie.
A scale
Like for
watcher.
real, like
Okay, the scale watcher.
every week getting
I don't
on
do it
there
no more.
and then the way I could tell just like if somebody who hadn't seen me was like, oh shit, or my wife would be like, all right, like it got bad for a minute, which not to segue to something like it got real bad and like I just thought about it maybe like a week or so ago. Like I think I had like a eating disorder. I
Come
swear to
on,
you,
man,
I
for
swear
real.
to you.
Now listen, I'm not. I don't mean to
And
laugh. This is the
I
first time you
understand
ever
because
said
I'm
it
thinking
funny.
back. I'm
So,
like, damn,
so
did I really? Like I would
no, yeah.
completely.
I'm not. I'm not laughing
You
at. But
laughing
we
at my pain,
family,
cuz
so
that's what you doing.
I'm
You
not,
laughing at my
man. But
pain.
I didn't know you was bulimic, bro.
It felt like it at times. At times, it was like
Look, was you? No,
because
I'm not laughing at. Was you in the bathroom sticking your finger in
nah,
there
I wouldn't
throwing
go
up?
that far because
I'm about to say,
I hate
bro.
throwing up
We
for one. So it was like I couldn't do that.
first of all.
I would much rather not eat at all.
So what's the eat disorder you think you have,
To
bro?
where it was like as hey, listen, man.
Oh man, come on,
Listen,
man.
man. I would work out so
Mm-mm-mm.
hard, right? I mean, I'm doing miles on miles on miles. So when you are the fat kid
Right.
and you
Okay.
finally
Okay.
lose
We getting
all this
somewhere.
weight
Okay.
and it's noticeable, right?
Okay.
It got so bad at one point, like people would ask if I was sick. I lost so much weight.
Yeah,
I
I've seen those
lost
too.
so much weight, and it was kind of scary for a second.
I thought you was on that
But
crack,
like, I
bro.
really wouldn't eat
Said,
because
"Cuss on smack. What are you doing?"
because I felt like that would ruin all of my progress. Like we laugh, but I'm dead ass serious.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
dead
okay,
ass
okay. So I
serious
see
though.
what you're saying. So you was associating food with like if I eat this, it's gonna
Yeah,
like
yeah. Like
everything I did is gonna
I'm
come back. I'm
I'm
gonna get
plump.
fat again. Like
I'm right
boom.
back. I'm right back. It was like
You refresh again.
can't do it.
So you the clump, you press the clump in
I
them.
couldn't do it, man.
Wow, the nutty professor,
Swear. So it was
right?
just like
So that was going on y'all was going on in your head, bro.
for a small piece of me, small piece.
So let me ask you a question: is that mental illness?
I hope not because I got over it. So I don't know.
I
I
mean,
don't know how I would
that don't mean a what?
categorize it.
Because you're an advocate for men's mental health.
Absolutely.
You are a
We
men's
don't have the
mental health
space. We don't have
advocate,
space to sit here and say, "Yo, I'm not feeling my best today."
and that's true. That's why me laughing. I really wasn't trying to
I
because if people don't understand, but
but
see, I want to say this. People don't
you know
understand.
me, so you know I'm
I
not
know,
taking
but
offense to
I'm not. I'm not. It's not for you.
it.
This is for people watching this or hearing this. So
Hey, but side note, if I
people
see
don't
anybody in the
understand.
street, they be like, "Oh, nigga, you wasn't eating." It's up.
Don't use that word. Try not to
Okay,
use that word
sorry,
so we don't get
but it's up.
you know. But yeah, he will go upside your head. But that's what I'm saying. Because they don't understand. Some people though who are not privy to different cultures, and different male
Hmm.
dynamics, they will think me laughing is so disrespectful. But when you have
Yeah.
family, we and how we grew up, stuff like that. We're not saying that it's not real. We're not saying that we want him not to be able to deal with it if he really had an
Hmm.
issue there. But for us to hear it, because we don't think anybody in our family got any issues, even though we know everybody in the family got everybody in the family got issues.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but to hear it for the first time come from him, and the way he said it was funny. That's all. And we love it. We laugh.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And
We have
so
to. We would.
we gonna laugh.
You know
We
how
have to.
old we would look if we didn't laugh.
First of all, I'll be funny because I got the gray, but I look young gray.
Hey, if it
Ooh,
wasn't for this
come
little
on,
patch,
come on. My wife keep telling me, "Baby, go ahead and put that dye in there," and I
why
did,
you do
right?
that to
And then
yourself?
it was on, but I did it, and they was on, it was on OG like I was a young snapper. I said, "I'm married. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all don't see this? Oh man."
Oh well.
She was like, and then I did it again. She was like, "Why you keep doing that?" Why you keep dyeing your hair? All
Like
right,
you
all right,
suggested
all
it.
right. Don't tell me don't do it now.
Ah,
So you lost all that. You lost all that weight.
yep.
What made you get into the biking? Because me, you, and your brother, we would bike for, especially during this pandemic. We would bike because when I moved over there on Bryant, that's when we
Mm-hmm.
started biking. You
Yes,
remember that?
sir.
And we was all through the hood,
Now I would
rolling.
try to get y'all to come up to the house up here in Cleveland Heights. Like I me and my homeboy Dave, like man, he put me onto some spots up there, like, and it's just so
Mm-hmm.
refreshing. Be out there riding at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, nobody's out there, but like just maybe older people walking their dogs, and you might get a few
Mm-hmm.
people that's running, but just biking and it's quiet early Saturday, Sunday mornings.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have loved for y'all to like come. We still can, but y'all be, you know, you know.
Man, I'll be tired and I'll be sleeping. You know, my early
Mm-hmm.
morning is 3:45 during the
Mm-hmm.
week when I get up to change people's lives physically at the IO
I
Fitness.
understand. I understand.
But plus, I don't know. You know, once I transition from down there and move from my time in the
Mm-hmm.
wilderness, so
So
to
to speak.
speak, it was a grand place to be. But to come out of that, because that's what we spent a lot of time during that time too. Like people don't understand. Like one of the reasons I didn't lose my mind during the pandemic was because my cousin was always coming to check on me. Like I was going through a very hard time in my life, and your brother, would stop by. Your sister also would stop by and check on me and make sure I was cool because I was. It was during the pandemic. The world was shut. You remember that?
Yeah, man.
That was a wild time,
Yes,
y'all.
sir.
Like it's something that I think is kind of missed is that we don't realize how many people didn't get through the pandemic, like died, and how many people got messed up because of what happened. That was a real
Died or
hard,
went into the pandemic up and came out
not right.
terrible.
I'm talking about physically, emotionally. A lot of stuff happened during the pandemic.
Terrible.
But my family, in particular, the Winfreys, and especially the Winfrey brothers and my cousin Crystal, their sister, they really was like, man, they was all making sure I was cool, like coming to check on me, make sure I was out riding bikes with me, all like we make sure my dog wasn't killing nobody and got loose. But
Well,
so I really,
what did
really,
you expect, man? You think we was gonna abandon you while you were in the lurch, as they say?
no. You got to think about this. But you got to think about this. Typically, people always talk about having somebody there, and I'm grateful to have my biological brothers, of course, you guys, and some good friends that were there for me. But when people talk about having somebody,
Mm-hmm.
I really had
Mm-hmm.
somebody. Like I had real people. I have real relationship with people that when they were like, oh, my cousin's in trouble, he always in trouble. I was a man who's standing on my own feet, leading the
For
way. You know what I'm
sure.
saying? And when I had a real moment to have the people have my back, that have my back, you included,
And that's what
that was just
that's what
special.
made it important though, because when you know that this person is solid, like when you know, like
Hmm.
you don't have to go over here and hold this man's hand through nothing, but
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
also understand, like, okay, he's going through a time right now. So
Hmm.
once again, that goes back to we don't have the space. We don't have the
Yeah,
space to just go to
facts.
your homie without like, and that's man, listen, I got homies I can't talk to like that. That's super close
That's
to me.
true.
I can't just be like, yo, I'm super stressed. I don't know what to do. I'm literally in tears, bro. Like I don't know which way to go. Man, they'll laugh.
Hmm.
They'll laugh.
How messed
It's
up
a
is
fact.
how messed up is that? It is fact. This ain't a
It's a
game. This is
fact.
true. How how is it important? Because that's what you guys provided me with, a safe space to express how painful that
Mm-hmm.
experience was for
Mm-hmm.
me. Like, and I didn't have to go and try to kill. my emotions with some
You
vice
don't.
because I had my cousins who were sitting with me saying, "Hey, get it out. Talk to me about this, bro. You can't sit in this house
Please don't.
and mold and melt away, bro. You're gonna lose your mind."
Please don't.
How
Because
important is to
even
have
though
a safe space? And
as
then,
important as that was for you, for that situation, and we know, you know, how you felt about it. We know what it
hmm
meant at that time, right?
hmm
So we knew like, okay, he got to get through this though. Like ain't
right,
no ain't nothing else about it. Ain't no because it's easy to throw. Like I said, you can throw the hand in and just shut down and be like, nah, this is crazy.
right,
Versus doing the hard work. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Which I know it was hard, regardless of whatever the present
But we
situation is now. That situation at the time was very difficult.
that was
You know what I'm
hard,
saying? It was very
very
difficult.
difficult for
And
sure,
I
for sure.
wouldn't wish it on nobody. It's something that I know that I would have the
Mm.
same feeling and emotions if it was my thing. I know that.
Right,
So
right.
to know that this person is solid, this person is not one that's always down. Like, dang, every time I talk to Cleve, he going through this, he going through that. It ain't that type of party,
Never had
right?
that. To
So
be
it's
honest,
like,
huh?
all right, you make it a point. It's right now. I am the one that out of I got a couple of friend groups, right? But I'm the one that I make
hmm
sure. All right, wait, I ain't talked to such and such in a couple of weeks. Let me hit up.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? And these
hmm
ain't just like
hmm
because this my dude. It's like nah, this friend lost his son, right?
Right, right,
I'm definitely
right.
gonna check on him. This woman lost her son. I'm gonna check on her.
hmm
This man lost his mom. I'm gonna check on. So I'm the one, and I sometimes that's reciprocated. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it'll go a little longer
hmm
than I would like it to be, but sometimes it's not, and I understand that because I'm more of an empath that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You accepted that because that's who you are. Don't mean that's who they
Right.
are.
Which is a hard thing to realize.
And but that's maturity, that's growth, that's love. Because I personally feel, and I tell people all the time, we only get upset with people we have relationships with when we give them expectations from us, as opposed to let them. When you expect them to be themselves, how can you be mad at them?
Because then at that point, now it's on me. Do I continue to extend?
That's that.
Right.
So if I put myself in a situation where where they're being them, you can't be upset with that. All I have to do is remove myself from that context with this person that way so they can't do their thing. And I won't be mad.
It's like
That's simple.
uh when you go out, right? Or I'll just say me, my experience.
Oh, we go out. Okay.
Me and my wife would go out like this was like we boyfriend girlfriend. I was not heavy on tipping, right? Now keep in mind, I've
Right.
worked many a job. I've been a table busser and you name it, whatever. I've been there, dishwasher,
Right.
all of that. But I wasn't heavy on tipping, right? For one, that's kind of cutting into the money I got. but as time goes on, it's like, and I learned like, wait a minute. Not only is this person providing a service, but they treated me well, so I should tip. Now, how much I choose to tip is how much I feel I need to tip. I don't feel pressured once again because that's on me. This is what I'm
right.
okay
Right.
with whatever I leave. You may have just
Right.
given us some mediocre service, but hey, we enjoyed it. I may leave you $20, $25. Like, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you was just terrible. But I'm gonna leave you something. Now, if you just trash, then you can forget about it. But overall, it's
I'm
just
gonna your
like,
tip all
what
right.
am I okay with? So in that to
Right.
that effect is I know that if I may call this person, I may text this person, it may not get reciprocated like I feel it should. But they're not me, like
Right.
you said. They're not. You can't expect other people to do as you would.
Right. 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 I just don't I feel like it saves you a lot of stress in relationships when you once you come to grips with the fact that you can only control your own
Hmm.
responses, reactions, your perception. People have different perspectives. People grew up differently. People might have something going on. I don't know why this person acts like that, but it got to do with me.
It be trash,
Just cool.
but
Oh, you got to call it what it is, but you don't have to say. I don't have to take everything personal.
that's a bad habit of mine. So that's why I was like, okay, because I'll take it personal.
Yeah, I don't. I just don't anymore. It's like okay, do I would have to be around somebody
Mm,
24/7, knowing what they're thinking about, how they woke up this morning, if they had an argument at home, what their job was like.
mm,
I don't know none of that. How their body
true.
feel, what's going on in their brain, none of that. And so I have to consider the fact that just because my universe is set up a certain way doesn't mean that theirs are. And when you have people's universes colliding, I'm trying to get you on my schedule in life and you trying to get me on your schedule in life when we have two different universes.
See, that'd be my fault though. Is be the expectation. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
And this is why I tell people it's the gaps. It's the day-to-day stuff that you do that leads to certain outcomes. Do I want success? Sure. Do I want a great marriage? So, sure. But I'm not thinking about 20 years from now. What I'm thinking about is what I'm doing today.
today.
Am I present with am I present with my wife today? When I interact with my family, I don't care that I haven't seen you, but I do see you now.
Mm-hmm.
So let's interact right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make this moment the moment. And I think that like people don't realize how we interact. It's one of the things that make our relationship a friendship and a brotherhood. It's as if we were just talking yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you on here talking like we just talking. I haven't seen my cousin in a minute. It's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? And but
Which
because
is your fault, by the
we're genuine.
way. Which is your fault,
I
by the
mean,
way.
somebody has to be the responsible one and take responsibility for it. And so, since I will on
No, no.
camera and say, as Big Cuzzo, I am an adult. Cuzzo has tried to make opportunity for us to be together, and I missed a couple of times, but that is not my nature. I am
It,
working in a
it,
whole new
it,
arena in
it
my life,
definitely is not your
and
nature.
so
That
that's not my nature.
definitely.
I'm expanding myself, so I will. That's why he's on here. I mean, come on, and
That's
then
why he's
it's
on
always a
here.
way for me to spend time.
Absolutely.
Like think about it, just now with him talking, like this is not your business talk.
For sure. For
But this is the reason why, because I think it's so important to value the people who value you and to understand that who bring value to your life too. And his brother is full of things. We're gonna get on. We run out of time today.
oh, that's trash.
It's been uh, it's been an hour, and I haven't even gotten to
That's
his love of books.
trash.
My love of books.
Come
The fact that
oh,
this
come
dude,
on.
we read ravenously.
Come on.
I had a crazy, crazy library, and this young man has, first of all, outmatched
Hey,
me and
hey,
all
I
that
don't
kind of
know.
stuff.
I don't know, cuz. I don't know. It's getting stupid on this side.
I know, bro, and so the level of conversation me and him can have is vast because of the fact that we do read a lot, and so I can't wait to have a conversation on some of the books that have impacted him and some books he will share with you.
Absolutely.
Also, want to talk about mental health in the black man, the melanated male in America, and how mental health has affected us, is affecting us. Because I know that's a very important thing that you're exploring at this point in your life.
Absolutely.
And so, can't wait to have that
Come
conversation. But
on.
today, bro, I'm had to bid you a farewell. First of all, the Browns got to
We
win.
did. We did. We
Against
stole
the
one, right?
old Browns
We
team.
stole one.
Boy, listen, Jameis Winston put on a little show out there today, didn't he?
I've never been a fan of dude, but hey, man, he I guess he did
He's
enough.
interesting. We
He
won.
did enough, I guess.
So I'm gonna take that win, and anytime we can celebrate something in Cleveland, the Guardians could keep New York out the
I really
situation.
thought this would
It
be the
is what
year
it
we
is.
do it.
I hope the West Coast
They
beat them,
will.
but
They will.
and I hope LA beat them. And then of course we're gonna talk to these Cavs because I know I like them. I think we got a solid team. They keep trying to play us, but we got 2 All-Stars and we got three
I
All-Stars. We
already
had
put us in
four.
as a 6 seed, so
They
I
better
think
stop
we'll be in
playing.
the
We're
middle of
gonna
the
talk some
pack.
sports too. Yeah, I think we will. I think we need to. I don't know if we ever gonna see another championship, but we're gonna be like those Cavs that's that's contending that are good teams in the '90s,
Mhm.
but can't get past like Boston, like New York, like we couldn't get past Chicago or something like that.
We'll see.
All right, Cuzzo, man, I love you, bro. Thank you for jumping on here with me.
Man, love you, cuzzy. Come on, man. We got to run that back, man. We got to get to the
I
good
mean,
stuff.
let's get on all as well, and let's come back to the other
All
side.
right, we
Let's
got
do
it.
it.
We on.
All
All
right,
right,
bro. I'm out.
holla. For
Appreciate it.
sure.